Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Irongeek cast number 127. It's the Humidity.
Waka waka.
How's everybody doing tonight?
I'm doing okay. I mean, shalom.
All right.
I am doing excellent.
Yeah, next
Actually,
time,
it's been a busy week, but outside of that, excellent.
next time we may have to figure out how to do this cast via Discord. I'm not sure exactly how we're going to go about it because apparently this is going down on August 1st.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, are you going to be available next cast, next Wednesday?
Yes.
Well, we still got one more, potentially. But yeah, we're definitely going to have to figure up a switch.
How about you, Jack?
Jackie boy.
I'm good.
And I see Liz has joined us as well.
Jack's just chilling like a villain.
Yep, it's been a bit since I've been on cast at the start.
True. That makes it a shalom start.
Is your lizard in your avatar? Is that thing shedding?
Yes.
Okay.
But I like to think it's a cool helmet.
I think it looks more like a nun. It's a
Gross.
lizard nun.
Gross. Hate lizard. I'm not a fan of things with stupid long tails. Anyway, other than that, I'm doing great.
Well, I hate you too.
No, it's just I wouldn't have. They look awesome. I just wouldn't want to have one in my house.
No, he picked up that you didn't like his long tail.
See, I like lizards. I wouldn't mind having terrariums with lizards in them. I just don't get the people who get a scorpion or a tarantula. Not that I have a huge fear of them or anything. It just doesn't look like it'd be a very cool pet.
Yeah, I don't want things that could potentially kill me.
Get an iguana.
Iguanas can get mean though, can't they? They bite and sometimes.
They can, but they have a lot of personality that they're kind of like dogs. So they're probably one of the more personable reptiles you can get.
Bearded dragon beef.
Yeah.
It's fairly docile. Just don't lick them.
Yeah. They salmonella?
Yes.
Most reptiles do, yeah.
Only thing I've ever had like that's like a toad. I had a chameleon as a kid. Well, a male chameleon. Anole or something?
Anole.
They call them chameleons, but they're not really chameleons.
I don't know.
They're like fake chameleons.
Welcome to the Herpetology cast.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you thought this was an InfoSec podcast. Psych!
Yeah, speaking of tails. That's all I got.
Okay. I may do a test stream sometime this weekend to test out using Discord for this stuff. Although I may need someone who set things up originally to help reset my password. It's been so long since I used it.
That's a you thing.
I don't think I
haven't used Discord. I haven't used Discord for chat all that much, but from what I have used it on, it seems like it's voice only. Am I mistaken?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
On our server, yeah, it's going to be voice only.
I'll have to look up alternatives, and I'll have to tell y'all in the one of our chats, how to connect onto it next. Well, actually, I may have my dates off.
No. Well, we could get it all like set up and pre-done and everything like that. If anything, I think Discord can do video calls, so we could do some other stuff as well. So we could all just drop into the same call like before, and then those that want to do video or whatever can do it that way. It will be like one person streaming though. That's like the control center.
It actually looks like we have Yeah, we don't have to have it done by next week. We got two more weeks of doing this before no other option.
Because YouTube's like no, or sorry, Google is like no to everything that we want to do in our careers in terms of
Yeah.
this kind of stuff.
Google's like, this product has hit, 5 years of life, 6 years of life. Time to kill it.
Yeah, and Google Hangouts is damn useful. There's a lot of people out there who do streams that use this.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Yes,
totally
but
useful.
At Google size, it's kind of like either they are trying to replace Hangouts with a different Google product, and they just see one area of Google competing with the other,
Yeah.
or my guess is just it's not the Google size. Something has to be enormously successful to warrant just maintaining.
I saw something
But,
called webcam, but that looks like it's a one-person thing. Unless I'm not misunderstanding how it works.
Is Allo still a thing, or whatever Google called its most recent chat program?
Well, it's got to be a new screen sharing.
I
Voice-
have next to no idea anything about Allo other than Google released it, and back before it was released, there was talks of it having some sort of machine learning AI bot to parse your chat. I don't know. It just seemed like a different way of trying to monetize chat program.
Okay, that was the way of doing it with OBS. But I'll have to ask around. I'll ask some of the other YouTube streamers I know what they plan on going with. Anyway,
I mean, there has to be alternatives out there.
yeah, but I got to be able to stream it to YouTube because that's the most convenient place.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, there's other things like DLive and so forth. I'll have to look around. Anyway,
I'll ask around
Okay.
because I know grumpy hackers use it, so I can ask those guys.
all right. Any other announcements?
I'll be at Black Hat beginning of August. Hey, Liz, are you going?
I will be at B-Sides Las Vegas and DEF CON. Since
Okay.
it's my own dime, I'm not paying for a Black Hat ticket.
I get
Yeah.
that.
Definitely get that.
I'm there working, so.
Yeah,
Anybody else hitting up anything? Vegas
I-
side?
Vegas side.
Oh, I might go dune buggying during the week at DEF CON.
Mhm.
And we'll try. And I was recommended. There's a kind of a party that's not really the DEF CON parties. It's run by the people who host the cock.li VPS / email server.
Yeah.
They used to be really close to 8chan, but kind of separated from them over time. Apparently, they are having some mansion party during DEF CON.
Oh, okay. I actually used to be really close to 16 and 32 and 64 chan, all of them combined. So it was pretty amazing.
That's
Well,
not funny, right?
I hope you were never close to 7chan. I hope you were never close to 7chan.
I
or
was.
else we're going to probably have to get some police involved.
I was briefly, and then I switched to 420 Chan.
Yeah, 420 Chan, okay. Wasn't 7chan the one that had all the
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only ones I
I'm
really
not saying what it is on screen.
Yeah. Don't want YouTube to get all censorious.
For those who want to know what it is, it's pizza. It is pizza that only the FBI should be aware of.
Some Captain Picard and some of Julian Bashir in there.
That's right.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, we can get on with the show notes, and I can go get myself some dinner ready as y'all cover the actual technical part of the cast.
There you go. So let's hit the breach report.
Breach report. All right.
Yeah, and honestly, I am not going to fully cover all the ransomware. Caprico added on a Monroe College. I'm honestly tired of talking about ransomware.
Yeah.
So we had LaPorte County, Indiana at 130,000. Syracuse City Schools. One I didn't add is a library system within New York. All hit with ransomware within the last week to week and a half. there's two things that need to be done: prevention and then remediation. And it
And stop
sounds
paying a damn ransom.
yeah.
Yeah.
And two, there is one thing out there. Within the last week, a lot of mayors is what it was, essentially signed a petition saying they would not pay ransoms. So if they follow through with that, awesome. But if they don't have adequate backups, they're still going to be screwed.
Yeah.
So make sure you have adequate backups. Make sure that you are able to contain endpoints, because ransomware probably will affect you at some point, so that you can isolate and segment off an endpoint. If ransomware gets on a system, that you're able to find out about it in a short time span before it can spread to other systems. If you have SMBv1 enabled in your environment, shut it down, because anything, I mean, that's how WannaCry, NoPeta, Bad Rabbit, all those did all their nastiness.
Pretty much, if you've seen it in the news, it was using that SMBv1 vulnerability.
Yeah, and then using, Eternal Blue.
Mhm.
So shut down SMBv1. Make sure you have good monitoring on your endpoints, and make sure you have good backups.
And that means, and I'm sure you're saying make sure you have good backups. That means that occasionally crack open that goddamn vault and restore your shit from backup to see if
Test it.
Yeah,
Test it.
yeah,
Test it.
test
Test it.
definitely. And not only individual backups, have redundant backups that, time frame, whatever the vendor you choose for a backup solution, that at any one point, somebody running rampant through a Windows environment can't also wipe out your backup environment. So if you have, if you're a Linux environment, I mean, potentially throw your backup environment on another operating system, or do a treachery up to Amazon. Do something so that whenever ransomware does hit, because at some point it will, and hopefully you did isolate it to one system, and hopefully it wasn't a server. But if it is a server, make sure you have that backup in place to restore. That's all I have to say about ransomware. That's all I have to say about that.
Another one quick note, they are getting more, because people are paying the ransomware or the ransoms now, they're getting more and more expensive in terms of what the attackers are actually asking for, which is specifically why I threw in the Monroe College thing, because it's like 1.8 million. Who the frick is going to ask that? But now it's just like, all right, cool.
I mean, that's the thing. If in bartering,
Mhm.
if somebody's willing to pay something for what you have,
Yep.
It's a win-win for everybody, right?
Right, which is essentially what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's just so freaking stupid.
Well, I mean, Monroe is a for-profit college, so it's not. So I mean, they got the money. They got the money.
Oh yeah,
We saw a talk at a conference about backup solutions.
Say that again.
When was the last time you saw a talk at a conference about backup solutions?
Like at a Microsoft or like a systems related conference. It's fairly often security conference. Honestly, can't remember last time. Hey, sorry everybody who could have just made your DerbyCon submissions. It's already closed. There you got everybody. So
everybody. That's very
hey, maybe next year. Oh wait, is that too soon? Okay, sad face.
You know those raccoons are going to catch you slipping when you come to Louisville. You know that, right?
No, I really am sad to see DerbyCon going, but we're gonna have some new stuff coming up, so
and it's gonna be a fun time, no matter what.
That's right. Okay, next up we have Bulgaria is investigating a financial breach, and hackers are teasing more data. So Bulgaria's, and Bulgaria is a country, their tax agency, and they are stating this is the largest breach of personal information to ever affect the Eastern European nation.
Holy shit.
It's affecting approximately 5 million of their 7 million citizens. So, I mean, yeah. Like, I mean, New York City, I think, has like 8 million residents. So, just to put it in perspective, yeah, it sucks. It's like taking out the vast majority of New York, but, you know, it's Bulgaria. Not knocking any Bulgarian hackers at all.
Or New Yorkers at this point.
Or New Yorkers.
Yeah, that can just, they basically just took out all of New York. It's like, no, just, nah, like you don't even need to do that. You don't even need a breach. You just need a timely lightning strike.
Oh, we're not even going as far as EMPs. We're just talking lightning. Okay, cool. I like that. So hackers had previously contacted local media offering access to the databases containing millions of rows of personal PII, including names, addresses, earnings numbers, and other financial data. Let's see, what else? Yeah, hackers sent reporters currently 57 databases. Oh, okay. Yeah. So one file from the hackers included more than 1.1 million personal PII, as well as monthly income statements and healthcare spending, according to newspaper 24 Chaza. Hackers sent reporters 57 databases of compromised information, though they claim to have access to a total of 110 databases.
Yeah,
so this
I love
isn't
how
like
they say
one.
such files. It's
Yeah,
like, no,
such files.
They're databases. They're
Yes.
databases.
I updated the verbiage on the fly there,
Yeah.
just because they don't know what they're talking about sometimes. But yeah, I mean, you're not talking like one database. This is 50 or 110 potentially separate databases. Whoops.
Someone's getting fired if they're not already.
Yeah, and then the very last thing here. In one message, the hacker described Bulgaria's cybersecurity readiness as a parody.
Yeah.
Oh well, I mean, the sad part is that there are better Bulgarian hackers than there are Bulgarian InfoSec workers. Sadly.
Yeah. Out of those 7 million people.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Okay. My mind was going off in different directions, so I will bring it back here. Next up, we have. Oh yeah, Sprint. Anybody here use Sprint?
Nope.
Nope.
Actually,
Kind of. Not really.
Kind of. Yeah.
Kind of.
Well, not
I do not.
really, but kind of.
Yeah, I know actually quite a few people who utilize Sprint. So hackers were able to breach Samsung's website and then via Samsung's website use that to pivot to Sprint's networks and information and essentially dump a lot of data. So the breach, the company was informed about the breach on June 22nd. Personal information which was included is full names, phone numbers, billing address, device ID, device type, subscriber ID, account creation date, account number, monthly recurring charges, and upgrade eligibility and add-on services. I'm kind of surprised it didn't have the what's it called, the IMEI? Is that what it is?
Yeah. IMEI information for the individual phones.
Yeah, yeah. I'm actually surprised it didn't.
Different database, probably.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah, that stuff is usually only stored in like provisioning database side. So.
Okay.
Right, and I mean, because if anything, the way that Sprint works, yeah, Sprint CDMA.
Yep, they are.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah, they are.
So
True.
yeah, it might be they might have their phones attached to an IMA number like that.
Well, they do. Like even CDMA or GSM, they both use the IMEI for device identification, but they
No,
also
it's no because because GSM is sim based.
Yeah.
Yes, they both have sims. On CDMA, you may have an eSIM, you may have an ICCID, or you may have an actual physical sim. You can have all three. I know this for a fact. Actually, trust me.
My
I
gosh.
used to work for a major SIM card manufacturer.
Hot
yeah.
damn. Darren has taught me stuff tonight.
Yeah.
So to quickly to kind of a TLDR about that. So on a usually most CDMA networks will use a built-in SIM card called an ICCID, which is basically a SIM card that's soldered into the board. So that's why you at least in older phones you couldn't change it. That's starting to go away.
Yeah.
Very nice. I'm actually checking out the YouTube side real quick.
Yeah. Welcome, Charles.
What's up?
Oh, is Charles here? I didn't feel the enthusiasm and the energy just completely entered the room.
Yeah, I was. Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, I was just waiting for Darren to talk and everybody to get their piece off. Yeah, how's everybody's Wednesday?
Great.
Yeah. Charles, we covered this 22 minutes ago.
I apologize for being late. I had to give my little one a bath. Yeah, I had to give my little one a bath. So
Hey, it doesn't take a long time to fill up a bucket and just throw it on the kids.
I'm sorry.
Is that child abuse?
Do it like a minute.
Exactly. Hey, I clean every crevice. I'm
Hey,
sorry. I don't just put them in the water, go splash, splash, and it's over. Nope. Sorry.
He really likes it now that it's summertime and it's like 80 degrees out, and the water doesn't instantly freeze as soon as it makes contact with him.
I'll take your 80 with our 104.
Yeah, I'm sitting at a nice cool 99 here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like 79 outside right now.
Just 104 in humidity. Just hot. Yeah.
Oh, the humidity's sky high, but actual temperature is 79.
No, our actual temperature is 104, but the humidity makes it even worse. So
your actual temperature is 104?
It was 104 today.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
It's 95 here. It feels like 101. So
yeah. So
95 here, 106.
Out. So yeah, I'll take your 80.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I've been indoors all day, like I said. So I'm currently on
siesta.
2 things. I'm currently on a pen test and a threat hunt, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of two sides of the table, but yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I say. It's been a fun day. Been a pretty eventful day. Just more so, like I said, I found some cool executables running on a server that shouldn't be running. So I gotta do some more investigation and report back to the customer on that. So that's pretty cool. And on my first threat hunt, even though I'm shadowing kind of, but I'm actually doing the work. So that's pretty fun. And of course, I'm back on the pen test engagement even through like the night. We usually stop around like 10, 11. I just, we take breaks here and there. We be going strong since 8 a.m. So I'm really loving life right now.
Charles out there finally actually earning his income.
Ooh. So you mean to say SEs don't do any work?
Oh, who's an SE? Who's an SE?
Yeah.
Ooh, he got quiet. He got quiet. Really?
That was kind of what I was implying.
Hey, let me find out you're not earning. Let me find out you're not earning.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Ooh, yeah, it's the money.
Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna come in. You think that SEs don't earn their money? About to get all WWF up in this.
Hey, I didn't
Jason.
try to defend it.
No, he knows. Ooh, I said Jason. Oops, I'm sorry. Hey, Jason. Man, I have Jason on the brain. That's terrible. Hey, Jason.
Hey, Jason.
Yeah, but Yeah, cool stuff though, man. So let me not interrupt the flow of the program. I am here. Where are we at?
We just are now finishing up with Sprint getting popped due to Samsung.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're moving on to hackers have breached Greece's top level domain registrar.
Mm.
Yeah, so apparently a group called Turtle Group, which, hopefully is,
no. It's
fully
Sea Turtle.
Sea Turtle. Yeah.
Sea Turtle Group.
Yeah, Sea Turtle.
Returns.
Okay. I was gonna be like Turtle Group. Hopefully that's like a female hacking group. Like that would be kind of funny. But no, actually there's oh yeah, they are state sponsored. Sea Turtle. Who I don't remember who Sea Turtle is. Attribution. Who knows? It may actually be them, it may not. But they have hit ICS 4th, which stands for Institute of Computer Science of the Foundation for Research and Technology. That's why they have an acronym. But yeah, they were able to gain access into top level registrar and be able to register whatever in the hell they wanted. But they were also able to manipulate the DNS settings. So that's always a biggie.
That's bad.
Yeah. Anytime you can go in, manipulate, and say, hey, Facebook actually goes here to this malicious website, or Google, or any other site in the world that you care about. Yeah, that's not really a good thing.
No, it's not.
And a side note, this is not a breach, but there was a recent zip bomb done in a research study. Actually, let me see. Check my website and see if I have it on there. I think I did. Zip bomb. Maybe I didn't. Yes. So, yeah, it was actually last Wednesday. There's a zip bomb out there that can expand from 46 megabytes to 4.5 petabytes.
Jeez.
And so, like, I just thought, that is freaking awesome. So I'm going to add that, like, in other stuff on the show notes. So if anybody wants to read into that, that is awesome.
I want to play with that.
Do you have 4.x petabytes to play with?
No, but I just want to see it blow something up.
No wrong with that.
That would hypothetically.
Oh shit! I can't post that. I'll have to find another link. The current link is Vice. I will try to find another link.
You trying to say Vice makes stories up?
Yes.
All right. So hypothetically, the way that Docker works is if you don't specify how big it can get, it kind of has enough space to just take over the entire kernel. Oh boy.
That's scary.
So,
that's
Docker bomb. Like that. I'm surprised that's not a thing.
That's a D bomb.
Yeah, D zip bomb.
That's freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might have to do that for well, I figured out what I'm doing with this Raspberry Pi Zero. It's probably going to be dead, but
speaking of Raspberry Pi, anybody get their 4s yet?
Yes.
Yeah, quite.
How do you like it? I have only have the 2 gig one for right now. Looking at just turning that into like just a penta. I'm trying to get the 4 gigs, but they're sold out. I wanted to get the 4 gigs just to turn that into a full blown pen test box.
So you wanna hint about those 4 gigs?
Mm-hmm.
Micro Center.
Yeah,
I went to Micro Center. It's sold out.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're sold out.
Let's see. Did you check their web store? Yeah, check the web store. Sold out. Out of stock. Oh.
Well, that's all you got to do is just have Israel go a couple hours south.
Mm. But so is you got the 4, right? So
Yeah.
how is this? Pretty cool, or are you using it as a Dropbox or?
No. Right now I'm just using it as a pie hole replacement,
Mm-hmm.
and it's able to handle everything I throw at it so far.
Okay. Is there any overheating issues? I was looking that up. Walking
Yeah.
tools.
Yeah,
There is?
but since my one the people that made my last that made my last cases for my Raspberry Pis,
Mm-hmm.
they finally came out with their solution. So
Mm-hmm.
I ordered it, and it should get here Friday.
Okay. Yeah, because I got a case for the Pi, but I want to get want to put like a heat sink on it and a fan, just to kind of
Oh
before I even do anything.
well, I mean, I could give you the name of the case that I use, Smarza.
You do what?
I can send you the link to the case that I use.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Because it has a heat sink and a fan and all that, and yeah.
Dope. Throw that into the show notes too, because I'm sure people are probably gonna eat that shit up. Bye, Charles. Well, I got what I came for. Bye. One thing about the hackers breaching the Greece tax thing or top level domain registrar or whatever.
Yeah.
FireEye has attributed it to Iran. Where the frick? Yeah, Iran.
That actually sounds right.
FireEye, CrowdStrike, and Cisco Talos have all made reports. FireEye attributed the attack to a nexus of the Iranian government, while CrowdStrike and Cisco refrain from making any attribution for attacks just yet, which is in line with how each of those companies kind of operates. FireEye is just like, it's Iran. Like every report that I've ever seen, it's like, it's Iran, it's Korea, it's one of those two.
Yeah, but too, I gotta wonder, like, what does Iran care about Greece?
They don't have money.
I mean, yeah, I mean, Greece's economy is already plunged. It's like, yeah, I mean, it could be.
Well,
so who knows?
Well, it's kind of plunged because no one pays tax. Wait, no, that's Italy. My bad.
No. That's Greece as well.
Yeah, okay.
They will do whatever it takes. They will only accept things in cash, so they don't have to. So that there's no proof that a cash transaction took place.
Right. Yeah. So it's more of there's a lot of tax evasion there too. So, but yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and as we know, I mean, but too, attribution is difficult.
Yeah,
you could throw Easter eggs in there, making it look like it is some other hacking group. I mean, it could have been one person who stumbled upon some of Sea Turtle's code at some point, and then just include a lot of that type of coding in there. So,
yeah, definitely
for sure. It could be Iran, but attribution is not an easy task.
Yeah, which is why there needs to be like investigations and boots on the ground, and then looking to see what else is on whatever device it's coming from. But that's a whole nother discussion.
Yes.
All right.
Next up,
vulnerability of the week,
where Caprico is going to tell you how amazing Dell is.
Yeah, Dell still sucks. So we covered this a couple of weeks back about Dell Support Assistant, basically giving, like, you can man in the middle the agent to get access to the box itself.
Yeah.
So same guy, Demir Cappy's research. Again, this is a high school kid. And I'm going to share my screen. So I've linked his article on it. He explains it a lot better than I can. Essentially, what it does, what he found was that the support assist agent within Dell opens up a child process as system, and he was able to inject his own DLLs into that process ID. And he goes through how he did it and all of that fun stuff, how he reversed it. And essentially what his demo looks like is something like this. And I love the fact that he has like video demos. So update manager runs. Sorry for the quality being... Oh, that's just his video quality being weird. So it essentially just runs and injects that child process. It runs the exploit, injects a DLL into that child process when that update notification shows up, and then he then gets a root shell on there and just has it open, or sorry, runs a system shell on there. So yeah, Dell still sucks.
Now he injected. Did he already have administrative access whenever he performed the injection?
No, he went from user to grab local admin.
Oh, okay.
So this is a local admin exploit, and he goes into it step by step where he looked, and also where the code shows that there's issues and stuff like that. What kind of different processes, what it means when you see different things in the Gesundheit.
Sorry,
That's fine.
I didn't hear one bullshit in that sneeze, so good job.
But yeah, so this is even more cause to be like, yeah, don't leave your XYZ vendors bloatware on your machine. Reimage that, please.
Yeah.
Because
and that is a good point. You know, if you are not using some type of golden image, try to get to the place where you are using a golden image. That it has your applications, whether you're using Dell, HP, Acer, whatever brand, that you are getting your clean install of Windows, your corporate key on it. You don't have Dell's, from the manufacturer, this key came with the device junk on there, as well as all the bloatware, reimage all that stuff.
Yeah, and also props to Bill / Destiny for doing this stuff and only being 17. I was nowhere near this good, so mad props to that.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, mad props. You're gonna have a job
when
straight
did he
out of high
start
school,
this
dude.
blog?
He started, I'm gonna get out of
I'm kind of
this.
wondering if he started like 10 years ago when he was 17.
Yeah, right. That'd be funny. No, so he actually, remember that carbon black thing that we were talking about? He's got an article on how to do that.
For full domain takeover and running like executables out of the black interface.
Yeah, not that specifically, but reading his first one was reading physical memory using carbon black's endpoint driver.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, nice. Hacking college admissions, cool. Reversing, yeah. So his first couple articles were in May of this year, but
okay.
Regardless of age, whether it's true or not, that is some like really, really good stuff. And yeah, so kudos to you, man.
Yeah, definitely. That's very good stuff.
You're making us all look bad, which is what you want to do.
Well, at least me.
Yeah.
Because I'm old. I'm not 17.
Yeah.
And, Jack's really old.
What?
All right.
Oh, good. I'm glad I woke you up.
Huh? What? What did you say about me, Sonny?
I'm telling you, Israel. Those raccoons are gonna jump you. So I stay out of those alleys and
God, watch out for those bandits. Oh wait, that's a BSD bandit.
Nah. I will get a raccoon bandana just to jump you in the middle of Louisville for the jokes. So that is the vulnerability of the week because it's something that we've covered before, and the guy did find it at the same time that he found his other vulnerability that he disclosed earlier this year.
Now, has
And
Dell actually patched that yet?
Dell has patched this, so that is why he has put this out here now.
Now, with that patching process, is it fully automated, or is there also a way that that automated, update can be disabled?
I don't. Let me actually look here. So Dell has a fix ready to be released within 2 weeks, and that was back in May, end of May, 6/19. Vulnerability disclosed by Dell as an advisory, and then vulnerability disclosed at Recon Montreal 2019 in 28, 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
2-3 weeks ago now. But yeah, Dell has put out an advisory for it, and I'm looking at it. All versions of Support Assistant automatically upgrade to the latest version available if automatic updates are enabled. Customers can also manually check and upgrade Support Assistant. There's also a way that you can manually update it where you open up your Support Assistant within your Dell device. On the top right corner of the Support Assistant window, click the settings icon and then click About Support Assistant. Support Assistant will automatically check if a newer version of Support Assistant is available. And if there is an update available, you can go ahead and click Update Now, and then you'll get the latest version. So that is how you patch your shit.
There you go.
And this scored a CVSS score of 7. So it's a high. It's not a critical because you can't do it remotely. But if you were to couple this with a, well, yeah, you couple it with any other form or any other attack, and even the attack that he showed earlier, or that Bill showed earlier this year, yeah, he basically did a pretty good demonstration of like one program from like outside into local admin, and then you can do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
Because at this point you're running like Mimikatz, trying to do whatever through there, dropping NTDS, SAM files, all that fun stuff.
Or if you're within a corporate environment, fire up Responder and start listening.
Yeah. Well, you can do that. Well, if you already have a device within the network, you already can do that. You don't need to take over another system to do that. But, teach their own, man. Method's a method.
There you go.
All right. So,
I mean, yeah, you're probably going to run Mimikatz first. I mean, you're going to establish your title, run Mimikatz. If you don't get crap off of Mimikatz, see if that user account can work anywhere, but at the same time, fire up Responder, listen for accounts while you're working the rest of the network.
Yeah, exactly. Which is kind of the methodology that I have been taught to do. It's just have Responder running, check it every once in a while, just to be like, hey, did I get anything? And then if it looks at like, oh, we got this hash, it's like, okay, cool, game over.
Yeah.
So pass the hash.
Excellent.
Alrighty. So next up, we've got vulnerable stuff. These are just kind of things that I won't go too much into because there's kind of a lot here. I will go into one of them a little bit just because it's freaking funny. So Oracle, enough said. Oracle patches 3 different critical vulnerabilities in the e-business suite reported by Onopus. So yeah, Oracle.
Wait, you're on a what?
Yeah. 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 So that was fun. Go ahead and go through and read all that. There's links within that article out to each of the CVEs as well, so you can look and see what each of those vulnerabilities are. The next one is actually kind of funny. I've titled it, We Will Rock You. Tesla cross-site scripting disclosed by a rock, like a physical rock. Kinda.
Nah, I think that was Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah. Do you smell what the rock is cooking?
I still like to picture him with the fanny pack on.
That is still the funniest thing to me.
That's quality.
Okay, so here's the situation on why this is funny. So a security researcher was trying. He owns a Tesla, and he wanted to try and see if he could hack it. So he's been trying to hack it for like months and months and months, and he's put all these different payloads into it, and none of them worked.
And all of a sudden, his car won't drive forward anymore. It only goes in reverse.
So here's the story, and this is some of the funniest thing that I have ever heard. He's been trying to find a flaw within the Tesla's web browser, which is a pared down version of Google's Chromium. Then essentially what happened is he says, I went on this super long, probably 70 hours of driving road trip. We were out driving through Colorado, and this rock just cracked my windshield, and I was pretty bummed out. He then went and filed a support note through Tesla's mobile app, which connects to the car, and resumed his trip. That point is when the payload fired. So the support request with the unorthodox car name caused the XSS payload to fire on the domain garage.vn.teslamotors.com. Bingo. On Tesla's end, a support rep had just pulled up the live diagnostics from Curry's car, who was the researcher, on the support dashboard. XSS Hunter sent an email notification with the URL of the vulnerable web page, as well as a screenshot, which showed the dashboard that had diagnostic information on the state of Curry's vehicle. The URL contained part of his car's VIN, which potentially could be incremented via a insecure direct object reference flaw, or a DORF. Yeah.
So essentially, whenever the customer service, whatever, connected in, it gave elevated access. And then did you say that the bin and stuff came up, that the CS guy sent that information to him, or did that appear like on his dash or something?
So the URL contained part of his VIN, which potentially could be incremented. Yeah, so he eventually let me see here. Curry says the dashboard application also has a public version, but he saw a screenshot of the answer. You could have pretty much pulled live information from any vehicle in that panel. So what you could essentially do would be make a bunch of these different support requests and just increment through each of them and pull all data from your car.
Yeah, I see it now. XSS Hunter sent the email notification with the URL. Oh, yeah. I got you. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So
I was thinking like the support rep did. I was going to be like, man, that's actually like halfway decent. Like they saw that there was an attack occurring and notified the client of it. Nope. That's not the case.
Yep. Nope. So one question still remains. Curry posted the screenshot of his vehicle's diagnostic information that was sent to him by XSS Hunter. His speed at 3:09 p.m. on June 19th was 81 miles per hour. It's like, well, you're out in the middle of nowhere.
Heck yeah. Oh, crap. If you're on 70... going east or 465, but on 70 especially, I mean, because they got the speed limit to 70 now, you'll get people going 85, 90 on there sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, out in the desert, I'm totally good with that.
Don't forget that I think Wyoming basically has a law where as long as the road condition permit, there is no speed limit. And Texas as well, I think it's somewhere around 85 or 90 is our limit in some areas.
Really?
Yeah. And I still got pulled over.
Like I've gone 100 miles an hour down I-45 because when you're on some of those stretches, like from between here and Houston, there ain't shit out there. And when you get close to like Madisonville, they're gonna catch you. But if you're like in that 2-hour time frame, I got 100 miles an hour and no one gives a fuck.
That's just called four-cylinder shaming.
No,
I did that on I-4, bitch. Don't start shit.
No, I'm saying That's a 4-cylinder, like vehicles with 4 cylinders. That's just shaming 4
No,
cylinders.
no, it's fine. I was in a 4-cylinder vehicle and I got pulled over doing 120.
Yeah, again, I was doing 100 miles an hour, and I drive a Hyundai Elantra, 4-cylinder. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, dude, I think I pick up.
Yeah.
mean-
It's all about weight to horsepower there, ratio. I was laughing at what Dark Owl put in YouTube chat. In Miami, 90 miles per hour is the slow lane.
Yeah.
And parts of the Northeast too. I mean, you go to like parts
Yeah.
of Connecticut. If you're not going 90, your ass is gonna get thrown off the road.
Have they raised governor restrictions over the years?
Yes and no.
I mean, because like I had a 96 S10 back in the day, and the 4-banger that was in it, I mean, the governor on it was 86 or 87 mile an hour. Like,
Well, I mean, you just said it. You were in a fucking S10.
I know, but I mean, they had the V6s. There were the ones where
You
people
could
would
slap a
drop the
V in.
V8s in, and I
Yeah.
mean, there was a lot of fun to have in S10s back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And they're
They-
bringing the Blazer back. It looks absolutely nothing like a Blazer, though.
Well, that was because Ford brought the Ranger back, but I've yet to see one that isn't
Don't you mean
lifted.
Bronco?
No,
Yeah,
no, no.
Ranger's the truck. Bronco's the more SUV, more similar to
Yeah,
a Blazer.
they haven't brought it back yet, but the Ranger, they didn't have it for a long time.
Yeah.
And the factory for that was up near my hometown.
Okay.
So they shut down that factory in the midst of like the 08 financial crisis or so.
Yeah.
And now they're bringing it back, and I don't know where they're being built. That factory is still dead. So
Really?
Yeah.
Is it still feasible to be used as a factory though? Like
Probably, but I don't know what
maintenance side?
No, probably not.
Probably not. But I have no idea if it's been gentrified or whatever yet, because I don't follow buildings that have gone out of commission, especially factories like that.
I mean, because my dad used to work for General Motors in Indianapolis, so they had GM truck and bus up there, and the entire plant was close to half a mile long. I mean, it was massive.
Yep.
And it was only essentially they shut down in 2004, I think, and by 2010, like you could not bring another business in there, and they just wiped it and started building new stuff over it.
Yeah.
Ugh. I think the first place that I did a physical pen test was like that, where it was like half a mile long warehouse. It's like, all right, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Needed to have a golf cart just to get around the whole thing and get to all the offices. It was like, oh my god.
I was gonna say that and an extension ladder.
Yeah. What do you mean? I'm already extended as a human being.
Yeah. Place that big usually isn't one story.
Yeah, no, it's not. That is all that I will say.
Okay. Yeah. Next up, weekly bulletin. Not going to go into it, but we're trying to post a weekly bulletin up here weekly, so that these are vulnerable items that are in a lot of enterprise and commercial environments. If try to scroll through it, see if any of your systems are contained within the bulletin. If they are, if it's like a 6, 7 or higher, somewhere in that range, try to get it patched ASAP. The lower stuff, that could probably wait just a little bit, but yeah, check it out, and we'll move on to the next one.
Yeah, highest ones this week, a lot of Google, a lot of D-Link, and pretty much some stuff that I have never heard of before have been the biggest things. So the most critical vulnerabilities on the list for today. Or for this
Okay,
week.
cool. And Dark Owl, let us know why you spent the afternoon in an elevator shaft.
Like
Were you like
willingly?
in the elevator or actually in the shaft? Like every amazing action movie ever made. So yeah, we definitely wanted to know. Were you like die harding it up?
Did you get Mission Impossible 1?
Yeah, that's really what I want to know. Was there any Die Hard types of scenes occurring?
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay,
But,
GDPR.
yeah. All right. So in other GDPR news, Deutschland says 9 to Microsoft, Google, and Apple's cloud infrastructure to be used in schools.
Oh
which is-
well.
Yeah, but I just thought I just thought this was interesting, so I threw it in there, and
I mean,
also the show
I
notes
find
are
it interesting too. But if you are going to completely reject, cloud infrastructure, have fun.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They've been working on doing so Microsoft specifically has been working on getting this into European schools, specifically in Germany, for the last couple months here. A couple of years. So Microsoft launched its Azure Deutschland presence in 2016 with the focus on this data trustee model. And then GDPR rolls in early 2018. So early of last year, and school boards were like they wanted to use Office 365 in spite of the privacy issues, but then the HBDI or the I'm not even gonna attempt that. it because like my I can't like half Dutch this.
You can
The
do
head-
it. You can do it.
You look at my screen. No.
You can do it. Just pronounce the syllables.
Hesse Commissioner for Data Protection and Freedom of Information, or HBDI, or in German, Hessisches Bürgerfrage für Datenschutz und Informationsfreiheit. I don't know.
That's pretty freaking awesome.
It's Freiheit.
Freiheit. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Frutein. But yeah, so they've pulled out of having any of this in their schools. And the problem was twofold. The digital sovereignty of the state data processing must be guaranteed. And also the other thing is Microsoft won't actually tell the German government, or in this case, HBDI, what they're doing with any data that they are using or gathering from students that would be using this potentially.
Because the answer to that question is they don't know yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, they either don't know yet, or they don't want to say what it is because it could look really bad on them.
Now, is this past, just straight storage? I mean, because you can encrypt the databases, you can do all those things. Are they actually saying that there is a Microsoft program that would be doing, the actual application, the transmission of data, where Microsoft could potentially have access to it?
Exactly. So since this is all cloud infrastructure, Microsoft owns that cloud infrastructure and manages Azure Deutschland, which is where the Office 365 instances would be held.
Okay. So
yeah, it's
Yeah, Office 365, I get that. But for actual, an environment within Azure that you own, that you're encrypting the systems, Microsoft technically should have zero access into that because there's no way for them to get into it.
Correct. And this is specifically towards their cloud solutions. And if you want to, if they're going to use Office 365, they're probably going to spin up their own internal version of it, which is, or not in not.
Yeah, just like
they're going to set up
within Azure or something.
Yeah. So, and that's
actually,
totally
I don't know
fine,
anybody who's done that. Do you guys know of anybody who's done that? Like spun up Exchange systems within Azure or AWS or anywhere else?
Due to NDA
So that's a yes.
reasons,
Yeah. I can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, got it. Yeah. I mean, if we're saying it and it's a good idea, someone's probably done it. So yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's a good idea. Exchange is exchange. I mean, for the most part, it's decent, but from a mail server platform, it's good. There's no security wrapped around it. That side sucks. But, from actual mail transmission and flow, it is a good system.
Right. As long as it's kept internal and no one else has access to it. Well,
yeah.
Ish. I mean, there's always going to be external emails and clients.
You millennials and your ish.
Well, ish.
Oh, wait. Are 12-year-olds still millennials?
Well, not even going to dignify those answers.
You're welcome.
Although the majority of the report focused on Microsoft Office 365, they also said that schools can't use Google Docs or Apple's iWork either.
Yeah, that's just very interesting.
Because that is all cloud infrastructure, and nothing ever happens to Apple or Google.
I mean, honestly, I'm more old school. I came from on-site, on-prem Exchange days. I would figure like O365, whenever you set up your stuff, like you could encrypt that stuff, right? Like, have you guys ever had hands-on with it?
Yes.
Like, can you encrypt that database?
To a point.
Okay. I mean, because I for me, that'd be complete crap if you couldn't. So
to a point, but if you can't determine whether or not Office 365 phone's home, what is happening to that data that's being transmitted back home?
Right.
And in this case, Microsoft doesn't want to be pinned down to an answer of what you're doing with the data, because it probably just all gets bunched up together and they do what they do with it.
Well, at that point, I would be looking at secure tunnels then, if that's the case.
Right, but this is for like students. This is for students to be using. How many students, and this I believe is going to be done within like middle school, high school, and colleges and stuff like that. Unless, well, it is Germany. It's Germany. So you're going to have these young kids. I don't see a young kid setting up an SSH tunnel out just so that he or she can send email to his class, to his or her classmate saying, "Hey, I got my homework done."
Or can you attach your homework, because I sort of forgot it at home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so with that,
I
then
did that.
what? Nice. So with that, what is their solution if they're not going with any of the existing services?
At this point, since they're not going to use the cloud solution,
pen and paper and a postal stamp.
My assumption is that they'll run the products and applications internally on an internal network.
Yeah, so just host Exchange internally and keep going down that road.
Yep, which is what I would have been like, yeah, this makes way more sense. Why aren't we doing this? And then we're the ones that have to be compliant with it anyway. Why are we trying to make a Microsoft, who doesn't really care, do all that stuff?
I don't know. I mean, whatever current solution that they're using, whether it's something that's roll their own, or each state has their own different sort of variation or solution to the same problem.
Right. So and Europe right now is a big, like, data security is a hot topic.
No.
So they're trying to do their due diligence.
Interesting.
But yeah, so that is that one. And yeah, and now we've got something totally out of left field. Antifa man firebombs ICE facility. Take it away, Adrian.
Yeah, see this? Here's a quick synopsis from the New York Post. In the early hours of Saturday, police in Tacoma, Washington, rushed to the local Immigration and Customs enforcement facility. An armed man was firebombing the building and nearby vehicles. Police killed him in a shootout after he attempted to set off a large propane tank connected to the facility. Antifa's social media account subsequently identified the fallen comrade as William Van Sporsen. I probably shouldn't say the name even. But then this brought up a bunch of people celebrating him as a hero, and even like Sean King saying that the guy was murdered. If you shoot at cops and they shoot back at you, or even if you have a gun and they're setting things on fire, I don't think it's quite murder if the cops shoot your ass dead.
Well, fuck. I mean, really, what? I really cannot stand Talcum fucking X. You're laughing. I mean, I really can't stand his ass. And honestly, if he was standing in front of me, I'd tell him he needed to drive a couple of hours east and go take care of those quote unquote people who jumped him because he was trying to be he thought he was a big bad person, and they handled him. But he won't do that. Sorry.
That's right.
I don't know how much coverage this thing actually got in mainstream media. It's one of the reasons I figured I'd throw it in here. Not that this is hardly mainstream media, but has anybody else heard about this incident?
Yeah.
No.
I have, but it was primarily due to people on this cast.
Nah, I mean, Ian, think about it like this: like you're putting someone else's lives, you're putting people's lives at risk. Blowing up a propane tank.
Yeah, guys, if I'm ever in a detention center and y'all want to get me out, please don't set the building on fire while I'm in it. Just a request.
Oh, that's not a good idea?
No.
Hey, Jack, stir the pudding.
Roasted Adrian is not on the menu.
But I heard it, kind of tastes like duck.
Maybe. I probably am.
And that's just nuts. And other stuff I saw today. I had to stay off Twitter today, but whatever.
Stay off Twitter in general. It tends to be better for your sanity.
Yeah, that would be.
William von Spronson.
William von Liechtenstein.
Yeah, he's like a 60-year-old something person. One of his friends insinuated that that's not the right terminology. That basically thinks that it was suicide by a cop.
Okay.
No, if you're trying, really.
Well, I mean, from the standpoint, he had to know he wasn't coming back out of that probably alive.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
He was apparently part of a local Antifa chapter and also the John Brown Gun Club.
Interesting.
Now, John Brown Gun Club is basically a gun club for far leftists.
Have they upgraded to actual guns yet?
Yeah.
It's
You'd be surprised. There's some lefties who are really big into guns now.
It's as much as a gun club as like the Hells Angels are a motorcycle club. Yeah.
All right. But Spronson was.
I mean, if it came down to it, I could actually party with a Hell's Angel and.
Yeah.
According to the article, Van Spronson was a member of the John Brown Gun Club, a Marxist gun organization that calls itself, quote, anti-fascist, anti-racist, anti-capitalist, and anti-patriarchy.
Cool. So you're anti
everything.
Yeah. Live and let live, I guess.
Live in the dream.
People or blow things up.
Yeah, until you start doing that kind of stuff, then it's an issue. Like a big issue.
But that's my, out of left field, literally, entry into the tonight's show notes.
Nice. I like it.
I'm going to see someone on Twitter complain about Andy No and that he was doxing people. All right. Apparently, I'm not sure I got all the gist of it right. He was taking a photo of a sign-up sheet. And doxing known terrorists, I don't think is necessarily the worst thing in the world you could do.
No, I don't think so either.
And the guys then said something about, since then, I pointed this out, we've had more security and guns or something like that at the sign-ups or something like that. I'm like, oh, shit. And this is a person who, however this way, he would strike me as Tackleberry from the Police Academy movies, but with less actual skill, probably.
It's still doxing, and I'm pretty sure the people you're trying to convince consider themselves part of said terrorist group. So if you really want them to be more sympathetic, calling them a terrorist group to their face is not really going to do it.
When you hit people over the head with bike locks and do various other shit like that to beat up Marines because they don't know what the hell a Proud Boy is, and you ask them, and they're like, "What are you talking about?" And they shit out of them. I'd say they're a terrorist group. That's pretty clear. Now, it's great. It's not going to change their minds, but I don't think it's capable of changing their minds.
I would like to think, I would like to hope that some of the people around the edges might be dissuaded from getting involved in the overt violence part of it.
Not really. You forget how group mentality works.
That's why I sit around the edges.
You forget how group mentality works. It doesn't matter if you're on the edge or not. I mean, when you get swept up in it, you get swept up in it.
All some people that come back, like I've read from people who were like all those kind of movements and then stepped back away from them. So it is possible.
Yeah, a lot of these people are just kids that will grow out of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You see, you're mistaking the 20-something-year-old, but the people who I had to tussle with, these were like old fucking people.
Guy who did the fire.
Okay, I said some. I didn't say all.
The guy
I mean, these are fucking whatever is hot. You know, we'll jump on it and whatever.
Yeah. Keep in mind, the guy who did the firebombing was in his 60s.
Yeah, I was about to bring that. I was about to bring that up, but go ahead, Liz.
Yeah, there's going to be lifelong freedom fighters, and you're not going to convince those. I'm not talking about those people. Nothing you say or do will do anything about them. I'm talking about the rich kids who are maybe still in college or just got out of college and don't really understand the concept of needing to dedicate their lives to a gainful employment yet.
Yeah.
You're assuming they're ever going to move out of their parents' house and actually have a job.
A lot of them are rich kids. But either way, I have no reason to believe.
You could live on Spam and ramen noodles for a long time. Or ramen noodles.
Ramen noodles? I don't
want to
be eating my... Sorry, go ahead, Liz. I was going to make a ramen.
It depends how you define living.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely not living well.
As long as you're alive, breathing, and
you're existing. You're not living.
Yes. I would say quite a few of these individuals are just existing and not really living.
Wasn't that what the NPC meme was for?
No, the NPC meme was people who blindly accept anything they're told and just repeat it.
So, is that like existing?
Sure, but that's not in the same vein as a food kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. I was being facetious, but
yeah.
Jeez. I don't know. But no, you are right on at least where a majority of them come from. It is from like the college kids.
I'll be right back at a call.
Yep. Liz is right. It's a lot of college kids that are just pissed off at the world and don't know what to do. And then they see this and they're like, screw it, let's go do this.
Woo, something to stand behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a bunch of my friends are doing, or wow, that's really cool. They're sticking it to the man. And it's like
somebody wants to love me.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. So whatever. They get it, go to college, and then they're going to massive amounts and I get it. They go into college, they get into massive amounts of debt, and then they're like, well, now I can't get a job because I
or the job that they get, barely covers whatever student loan payments they have because nobody bothered to educate them about loans.
I don't see how
or finance.
Be so dumb that they don't do the math on that. Like I have a family member who's in huge student loan debt, but I'm looking at what they tried to major in, never completed, and like, what did you think you were going to do with this?
So it's about thinking ahead. So
Nancy Pelosi is going to pay it all off. Oh wait, no, Bernie's going to pay it all off.
Like hell.
Yeah.
Obama was going to pay it off, and now Bernie's going to pay it off.
No, whoa, time the fuck out. When did that president talk about paying shit
Oh,
off?
Obama didn't run
No.
on any sort of
Promises.
stance on student debt. The student debt was barely a thing in 2008.
No, I mean it was still there, but I mean
Not to the same extent it is now. Like the extent that it is now, where it is a huge talking point to the.
well,
and
I mean
also,
it's always been a talking point. I mean,
Mhm.
well, the woman that I dated at the time, her student loan debt was over six figures, and
Yeah.
she had gone to college several times and never graduated. And I was like, "And you didn't think at any time that the bill would come due?"
Hey, if she just stays in college, she never has to start repaying.
But the bill comes due.
Well, out of curiosity, what did they major in?
One program was she wanted to be a school teacher.
You know, high paying salaries.
And then she wanted to do something concerning HR. And then eventually she ended up getting a degree in I don't know, fucking something or other. Fuck, I can't fucking remember. It was fuck.
How many times can Jack say the F word in one sentence?
Well, I mean, this was like 7 years ago when I dated her. I can't remember what she majored in, but that was the conversation we had because she looked at what I owed in student loans and was shocked.
Well, Cameron in chat does bring a good point. Do your research. Research what is your outlook if you get a certain major. Like what jobs look like. What's your how much do you have to pay to go to which university you want to go to? Like, for instance, I went to a state university, which is a hell of a lot cheaper than if I went to a full-blown for-profit university, like University of Minnesota, University of Wisconsin, any of those that were around me. And if I went to any of those, I was going to be paying about tenfold more a year just to go to that, just to like attend, and not counting books, not counting housing or anything like that. So do your research for sure.
That's right.
And don't be afraid to not accept if that class has a textbook. Don't go to your college. Check is a good place. You can either get the ebook version of it on Amazon and get it and rent it for cheap. So I mean, there's ways around it.
Also, with books, wait for the first couple of classes to go through, and then see if you actually need it.
Yeah, there's a lot of professors that like don't even ever touch the book. So at least back in my day, 50,000 years ago, that was the case.
Oh yeah, you are a dinosaur.
I know.
Okay, but no, for sure. From YouTube, Jason Daniel Stone. They made it so people couldn't include student loans in bankruptcy. It's a whole scheme with the government, the banks, and the universities. Yeah, it's essentially just indentured servitude, almost, using student loans. Well, not indentured servitude. It's more of like a life debt, I guess.
No,
like
it's
you
still
always
indentured servitude.
Okay.
You have to pay the debt off, and you can't leave until you do.
Yeah. That makes sense.
But no, actually, I take it past that because there's also the potential of them coming after other people after you die if you don't pay it off. At least with indentured servitude, like the debt was paid once you did pass away.
So this is just
debt's even worse.
This is like involuntary servitude.
Yeah. Well, yes and no. I mean, you voluntarily do it all. You sign all the loan papers. You do all that.
Exactly. You have to. Yeah. Well, then I'm probably gonna get scoffed at on Twitter. It's like, but I needed this so that I could get a job. It's like, no, go to a trade school. Like there are so many different ways. Look at just our industry as an example. There are so many people that are high up within the industry that didn't go to college.
Oh yeah.
So
And there's a lot too who went to like secondary schools and got like associate's degrees and stuff like that. Like
Mhm.
at least within our industry, schooling is not a prerequisite. If there's employers who say it is, sorry, it's probably not the employer you want to work for because they're going to suck from the management side, and your life there is going to suck.
Well, I mean, you gotta have something to get past the HR filter.
that's when you take white text at 1 point font and you put it at the bottom of your resume in the footer.
Jason said, "Don't get a degree in art or lesbian dance theory."
I was about to bring that up. I'm like, bro, do you have some experience with that there? Also,
Oh
thanks,
my
Jova,
gosh.
for the total of $11 in donations that you've made during the stream.
Yeah, I think Adrian has a Patreon. What is it
Mhm.
you have,
I have a
Adrian?
subscribe star and a Patreon, both in the show notes.
Oh, okay. Also, and I know if you give via those means, they actually a larger percentage goes to him to help with video and different stuff that he does.
Yeah, whereas YouTube takes a 45% cut.
Is that really what it is?
Yeah.
Yep.
Whoa,
Yeah, it got worse once Google did it.
man!
Hey, I
Gotta make
mean,
that money.
Twitch is like 50%, so yeah.
Not really. Well, I mean, they do. Twitch does that for subs. It's around 50%. But for like donations, especially if you're like a part of Streamlabs or you use Streamlabs as a payment processor, it's not that much.
Good to know.
Yeah, I've heard some. We had some on the cast a while back with someone about using Patreon or anything else like that, or what was the other one? They say, "Oh no, they take a cut, so do it all yourself." I'm like, you know how much overhead there is to doing all this money collection yourself?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I'm almost
that
a
would
billing
suck.
cycle for credit cards and shit.
Yep, that'd suck.
Yep. Nope. That's the point where if it got to that point, it's like, all right, hire an accountant.
Good
You
call. Accountants are your friend.
As long as you find a good one. Don't get a shady one.
Yeah. Financial planners are also your friend. Again, if you
No, they're
find
not.
a good one and not a shitty one.
Yeah, because most financial planners are out for themselves.
Agreed. And that's why you find one who works off of your percentage gains.
Yeah.
And then they take a cut of your percentages. Not a ongoing monthly or yearly, set amount. Somebody who's actually working off of you actually increasing. So if your portfolio goes down over a year's time frame, they should not be making any money. My opinion.
All right. Yeah. No.
What's up next?
That would be the end of the show. So we got through them pretty quickly.
Well, we have other stuff. We can discuss the other stuff.
Yeah, we get some other stuff.
So next up, Alan Turing. Oh my God,
Turing.
Alan Turing is slotted to be on the 50-pound note in the UK, which I thought was interesting. Just reading through a bunch of different stuff today. If you don't know who Alan Turing is and you're listening to this, basically the guy who created and is the grandfather to all computers. So
He's not the grandfather.
Yeah, he's
grandfather
the
of computer science.
No, he's not.
I think he's best known for being a cryptographer. Cryptographer during World War II and helping break Nazi codes.
Yeah.
And then also, if you know what the Turing test is, where if you've seen movies like iRobot, Ex Machina, and
Wait, is it really pronounced ex machina?
Yeah.
It sounds right.
Oh,
Were you calling it machina?
Or machina?
I have never
Machina?
said it out loud. I've only ever said it in my head, thankfully, because
No,
I
it's
It's
would
like
have
how
butchered it.
it's like how everyone when they were reading Harry Potter thought Hermione was Hermione or whatever, not Hermione
Or Hermie one. Yeah.
Hermione.
Now,
Her-
Dos
her-
Machina, that means God from the machine. What does Ex Machina mean?
Machine, man and machine.
Okay.
X being man and machina, being machine. Yeah. So if you've watched any of those movies, they mention like the Turing test. It's the test that is done to see if AI is truly a form of real intelligence, where
and it has never been passed,
it has never been passed yet.
and it will not be for probably my lifetime.
Yeah.
So again, whatever everybody cybersecurity information sec is saying with their amazing products, AI, bullshit.
There's some cool methods of like processing some of this data and also like automating it.
Yeah,
but
I mean there's data mining, there's neural networks.
Well, I mean, even with
there's
machine learning.
We do have advanced methods of computating information, but it still takes human interaction to do it. So, yeah.
So
that's all I have to say about that.
But no, I thought it was really cool that Alan Turing's going to be on the 50-pound note. Because if you know the history of it,
are they fat shaming him?
So if you know the history of Turing,
I'm all about shaming tonight.
He was during that time it was illegal to be homosexual. And he eventually went into, he was discovered to be a homosexual after the war. And then he had to go under conversion therapy. And then eventually committed suicide because of his drugs, the drugs they were giving him, making him super depressed. And he was later given an honorary knighthood in 2014 or so, something like that. I don't remember. I just remember that. But yeah, so this guy did a lot of work for and contributed a lot to what we now know, modern computing and code and cryptanalysis and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, especially on the crypt side. Yeah, he did just a shit ton of stuff, which was amazing. He created the Enigma machine.
No, the Enigma.
Wait, are you sure?
The Nazis created the Enigma machine.
Oh, he created the thing that decoded the Enigma machine or whatever then.
Correct. He created the machine that was a basic blueprint for what you would think a processor, like a modern processor, would be. And that was then brought into a congruence with another British engineer at the time, who made something out of vacuum like a basic processor out of vacuum tubes, and actually was able to do code that was inputted via paper. It was like a paper stamp that would run on like a belt system that would run at, I think, like a couple hundred RPM. So then you could actually input it. Yeah. And it's all running off of vacuum tubes, and the vacuum tubes were the things that were actually storing information or being used to store information.
I store information on horse hair.
Isn't that what a violin is?
Yeah, but not for storage.
All right. But yeah, that was just a cool little thing, and I'm Yeah, it was a cool little like, oh, that's awesome. Like something good happened
Yeah.
this week.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Which next is something that I am not able to make a comment on. So Israel, go for it.
Oh yeah, I threw this on here. So, Sodinokibi ransomware. I don't know. I'm sure that was 1,000% butchered, but it's actually making a rise as Grand Crab is starting to die down since the authors are, still claiming to have abandoned Grand Crab. We do have another one now that is starting to make a rise, similar to like a Ruck ransomware, and those are kind of the three biggies right now. Is this? I can't even pronounce it. Sodden no Kibi, Ruck, and then Grand Crab. But Ruck is still big. And I honestly don't know how much total money Grand Crab brought in, but Ruck is up to getting close to 300,000 so far.
Gan Crab brought in a couple $100 million for the original creators.
Was it a couple $100 million?
I'm pulling up the Krebs article on it.
Oh, okay. But this one so far is sitting at like 56,000. So it's not massive yet, but it's definitely gaining popularity just because it is a ransomware as a service. You can go in, you can create your custom ransomware. The creators get their cut, you get your cut. Apparently, everybody's happy.
So from this article from Krebs on Security, who's behind Gan Crab ransomware, quote, in 1 year, people who worked with us have earned over $2 billion US dollars. Read the farewell post by eponymous Gan Crab identity on the cybercrime forum exploit.in. Where the group recruited many of its distributors. Our name has become a generic term for ransomware in the underground. The average weekly income of the project was equal to $2.5 million. We ourselves have earned over 150 US dollars in 1 year. This money has been successfully cashed out and invested in various legal projects, both online and offline ones. It has been a pleasure to work with you, but like we said, all things come to an end.
That English was very, very good. That doesn't look like it was translated ever.
Yeah, no. I'm just quoting what it was.
No, I'm not saying how you spoke it. I'm just saying the actual English. That's a little too good to not be American or English. Just throwing that out there.
I speak American. But yeah, so they made a lot of money on that, and it doesn't surprise me that there's another player in town. However, I can't make any further comment on that.
I'm sure there's not all ransomware, even if it's made outside the country, is necessarily, bad English. I mean, how much does it actually cost to just pay a good interpreter to say, okay, do I have the grammar more or less right?
Yeah, pretty much. Or I mean, Google Translate's a thing.
Well, I mean, and they could definitely afford it.
Yeah, and here's the other thing too. You're gonna have, like, in most countries, they speak fairly decent English and can write it out fairly well.
Yeah, but the way that read, that would be more akin to a native English speaker as like a second language, as opposed to a second language. Just some of the verbiage that they use and everything.
No, probably someone that's going into university. Jason, Israel's Twitter is fake it till you make it something. I can't remember the rest of it, but it's
Fitty me.
Fitty me.
Yeah, it's all InfoSec news.
It's basically a Twitter bot. He's basically a bot.
I am. I mean, I retweet some cool shit every once in a while. Well, stuff that I think is cool in regard to InfoSec and stuff like that. But I definitely retweet current news and current security-related events.
Mm-hmm.
actually took a lot of time to build out back in the day. And I do need to update it, but I do monitor about 450 different websites for new information. And then, like Cappy said, it is automated. Most of the stuff is RSS, and then I keyword it out through a couple different filters, and then that's what you end up seeing on Twitter. And I only have like 2 or 3 categories on Twitter. The bulk of it is on the website. So, and that's also fittyme.com. So,
Cool. And if you want to follow the rest of us, we're all on. Just go find Adrian at Irongeek _ ADC, and we're in there somewhere. Have fun. Try and find us.
yeah, we'll
Nope,
see
do not.
how good of security guys they are if you can find them.
On Twitter. Find our handles on Twitter. Anyone got anything else for that?
I do not.
Not really.
Okay.
It's it can be a short cast, and we'll go to the off-air conversation.
Okay. Ransomware targeting QNAP devices.
Yeah. So I threw this on here just because I have experience in QNAP back in the day. They're pretty nice little storage devices. They're some enterprises will have them as like a last ditch effort, or if they are. I rarely have seen them as an actual like enterprise solution, but sysadmins compared to man, I can't remember any of the storage solutions now. It's been so long, but a lot of sysadmins like to utilize these for moving data off temporarily as just a cheap fix. Need to move it off, rebuild a system, move back on type of thing. And then kind of like their own little playground. And so QNAP devices are actually being targeted for ransomware. And the ransomware is being called
Q ransom.
Echoraix. ECH0RAIX. But you'll find a lot of tech people who have these QNAP systems in their own homes. They offer more, functionality than just a straight everyday storage device. A lot of them will allow you to run a Plex system off of them, run just all kinds of stuff, and then you'll also have probably 16 terabytes of raw, anywhere from 8 to 12 terabytes of usable storage, and so you can use it as your own NAS. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do with them. But yeah, they're being targeted now. Always fun.
Yeah, and that I'm pretty sure the way that you're supposed to say that ransomware is Echoraix.
Echo. Oh, okay, that could be churro. I like churro more.
Eat the damn churro.
That's right. I love churros. Churros are good stuff.
Yeah, I ate too many of them when I worked at Costco, so now I'm sick of them.
My wife tonight, we've started working towards doing keto.
Oh, okay.
We're kind of baby stepping in. We're not like full blown doing keto stuff yet, but working our way into it. But tonight had taco salad, freaking awesome. Like, I'm good with that, and it tasted great.
Nice.
And like, we have an Instapot, and so like last week I was like, yeah, what were you gonna say?
Oh yeah, I fucking love those Instapots.
Yeah, I mean, they're awesome. And I was like, I bet there's like recipe books and recipe guides out there
Yes.
to do keto with Instapot, and the heavens lit up, and because the Instapot, if you use it, you practically throw your crap in, click the lid, press some buttons, and a half hour later you come back and your food's done.
Well,
so,
I mean, keto is the new hotness, so you're gonna find tons of recipes and such for it. So.
Yeah.
It's the current diet fad.
The Instant Pot is basically a crock pot pressure cooker hybrid, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I actually bought one the other day from Prime Day. It's supposed to be here, I think, tomorrow. Yeah, it does like pressure cooking, rice cooking, crock pot. It could do baking. It does like 8 or 9 different things.
I may have to look into one. Right now, I'm trying to cut down massively the number of carbs I consume, which damn it, I enjoy some of my carbs. But
these are the carbs I like.
Eating a lot of chicken thighs with hot Frank's Red Hot sauce on it instead of barbecue. Because barbecue sauce is definitely not keto friendly.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I've always liked chicken breast more. I just don't like the greasiness of the thighs.
Chicken breast is just too dry for me. I like a little bit of fat.
Okay. I mean, but me, chicken breast and hot sauce, I'm good to go. Like, I'm honestly happy with that. Okay.
Higher protein for the total calorie count, breasts are, but I just really like chicken thighs. So, also like duck when it's cooked right.
There you go.
I don't know. The only way I like my chicken is fried and
fried, breaded, and then fried again.
Yes, and served with a side of watermelon and
Get you some purple drink.
Yeah,
purple drink.
No, red.
Red drink.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are completely against you now just because you don't like the purple drink.
What? I like red. It's fine.
Yeah, but you don't like the purple. I mean, do you like hush puppies?
Nah.
Welcome back, Liz.
Because honestly, yeah, I was gonna say, I just started thinking about fried food. I don't know if like hush puppies are a stereotype thing, but man, I love hush puppies. They're just so good.
Well, I mean, it also depends on from where.
Yeah, I get that because you could get the hush puppies that are just like straight cornmeal and crap, whereas then you get the other hush puppies are nice and fluffy and amazing, and man, so good. Okay, and now not talking about racism, Cartman's Revenge.
Yeah. So this is Cartman's Revenge. We're gonna petition to raid Area 51.
Sorry, I couldn't pass up this title because I thought of it as we were talking about it, and it's just something that is entirely stupid.
Wait, so I've been seeing the petition raid Area 51 for the last like 2 weeks now. Like,
right?
Is it called Cartman's Revenge, or did
no,
you
it is not.
No,
it is not.
Oh, okay. I was gonna be like,
I made that up.
This is amazing.
Could you imagine?
That it hit news stations.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
it's
seeing
major news stations.
Mary,
I'm seeing a major news station post a clip of people doing Naruto running, which is cringe. So much cringe.
You gotta be shitting me.
Oh, it's awesome.
No, I'm not shitting. I can link you.
Oh my god. Okay, so Mary in the chat just went, yes, Area 51. Woohoo! Natural selection. Oh,
Mary, thank you, because I think any meme you have found in the last 2 weeks, I have not seen anything from you outside of I'm sorry. But outside of that is not Area 51. I think you found every single one on the internet. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Congrats.
It is a funny meme, but I'm hoping it's mostly a meme and people aren't really going to try to do that shit.
Oh no! The dude posted it as a joke, and he even said like, "Look, I put this up for a joke, so I'm not trying to raid Area 51. So, Secret Service, stop visiting me."
So the guy who originally posted it is he the guy who also said Secret Service? Like I was just joking.
Yes.
Oh, nice! I didn't realize that. That's awesome.
I know Area 51 officials gave an official statement saying we take these threats seriously. This is not permitted, and it's a very cringeworthy thing to hear a government entity say about someone who is talking about weebs Naruto running into Area 51.
Wait, raiding a government facility.
It's not a government facility.
What? No. I mean,
It's not.
still ran by the Air Force.
No, it's not run by the Air Force.
Who's it run by? I always thought it was run by the Air Force. I mean, because that's where they used to test the new
Nukes.
planes and I don't think nukes, but the new aircrafts and stuff like that. Like, who runs it then? Because they even tested like a big old like a B-52 or something, where they strapped a massive like
I
UFO
think who
looking
I
thing
think who
on there.
I think who I put in the side chat. That's who
Ah, okay.
Really? That would be
Yeah.
very interesting.
Well, gotta keep in mind,
Yeah,
I mean,
because
it kind of makes sense if they do.
I don't
because
I don't buy into
No, okay.
I
Hold
do
on.
buy into the skunk works and test planes out there.
why that.
Okay. So according to Wikipedia,
Jack's over here like there are aliens there. I don't care
No,
what
no,
you
there's
think we
not.
were saying here tonight. There's aliens there. You should
No.
definitely rush Area 51.
No, I'm just saying that after a certain date, it's pretty much been them there.
Interesting. Okay.
so originally it was the Air Force. It's someone else now, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Area 51 is the common name of the highly classified United States Air Force facility located in the Nevada Test and Training Range. Officially, the facility is called Homey Airport.
What? What?
Homey Airport.
How's that spelled?
HOO.
No, it's HOMEY Airport.
Oh, if it was IE, I was going to get really excited. You know, because
What's up,
Nevada don't,
Holmes?
because Nevada don't play that.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought I would just throw it in there and be like, this is kind of some funny stuff. And the fact that the Times is picking up on it is freaking hilarious. And also I just wanted to be like, it's Catman's revenge, respect my authority, open up the gate. I want to see the alien.
I think I'm missing a season or two of that of South Park. I need to go back and catch up on that.
Well, I'm referring to the first episode of South Park.
Yeah. What's the episode something to do with Santa Claus and Jesus or something? Or that was
that's the original short. The first episode from season 1 is Cartman gets anal probed.
Yes. Yeah, I do remember that one.
Yeah. So that's why it's called Cartman's Revenge. But yeah. So last but not least, pretty freaking awesome zip bomb, which is that petabyte zip bomb that we were talking about a little bit earlier in the stream. And
it is not linked to Vice. I did find a much better source.
It is linked to Extreme Tech.
That's right, Extreme Tech.
Extreme.
We put the tech in the extreme.
We put the extreme in. Never mind. The reason zip. Okay, so essentially, what this is able to do is it deflates from a 56 megabyte base file to a 4.5 petabyte archive. And it's got a compression ratio higher than 1032 to 1. Holy
how amazing is that?
That is awesome.
That's just
zip bomb.
That's just beautiful. I mean, can you imagine if you were able to attack routers and firewalls with a payload like that?
You wouldn't get very far, but yeah, you would take it down.
No, I'm thinking more like on a DDoS side, you know?
Oh, okay.
Like, if you really wanted to just, you don't have to consistently keep sending packets, you know, and DDoSing them. Like, you've been able to get it through, and all of a sudden, boom.
That's the perfect sound. It's not even just like that. It's more of like, oh, boom. It's like a freaking nuke going off.
Yeah.
Like, that is nuts. Petabytes.
Yeah.
Petabytes.
I mean,
At some point, it doesn't really matter if you're talking about like 10 terabytes or a petabyte. Either way, you're not going to have the space to unzip. You'll decompress it.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're going to fill the entire space up and be done. Ta-da!
Yeah, and it's going to lock up your system, and
Yes. So, one of our suggestions: do not research this on any device that is not a virtual system, or that does not have removable storage that you can wipe it completely off of.
And don't do it in a misconfigured Docker container, because the Docker will explode outward across the kernel and take up all of your drive space until you delete that container. But
Yeah, don't do that either.
yeah, get it in a VM with like closed off stuff when you're testing this.
Yes.
Or there's a way to specify the max amount of drive space that you can have in Docker containers as well. So look for that flag.
Yeah, all that C group's black magic, and it can't even stop a simple fork bomb. Yay!
Yeah, well, son of a gun, I forgot to add the article I found this week.
Well, damn. Well, that was a good cast. See,
Yeah. All right, we're done.
Okay.
Can you find the article real quick?
Yeah, I can find it real quick. I totally forgot about this. So I did some more digging on Docker and Windows and their integrations, because back in 2016 they partnered up. And then I found this. I don't know if I talked about it. I know I talked about it with a couple people, but
Yeah, Windows I think is still the big spoon though.
I found this. Docker embraces Windows subsystem for Linux too. Okay, so Docker has realized that Microsoft's new Windows subsystem for Linux 2 has made Windows much more attractive to both Docker and its container developers, both for the Windows and Linux platforms. The biggest thing out of this article: Docker will replace the Hyper-V VM with a Windows subsystem Linux 2 integration package. It will come with the same features as the current Docker desktop, and this includes Kubernetes one-click setup, automatic updates, transparent HTTP proxy configurations, access to the daemon from Windows, and transparent bind mounts of window files, and more. I found part 2 of this of my talk. So give me a couple months and I'll see what I can find. Once this is out, I'll see if there's a beta out for it, and I'll start screwing around with that. But yeah. So Hyper-V is not going to be a thing anymore.
Good. Hyper-V's been a piece of shit for the last 15 years. Well,
I don't know. I mean, I rather enjoyed Hyper-V when it first came out, and then I discovered something better.
For the longest time, I mean, Hyper-V has always been in the shadow of VMware, just 100%.
They tried.
Yeah, I mean, they tried, but it just always sucked. In comparison, I mean, like Hyper-V, comparing it now to like VMware 2 or 3 years ago, yeah, it's pretty good. Or any other year, but you have to offset those years. It was never a like for like comparison. That's the only thing I could never stand. I mean, the benefit of it and why you saw a lot of organizations embrace it is because it was included with your licensing. Didn't cost anything extra as long as you had your licensing. But once you got the sysadmins getting their teeth grind out on VMware, all of a sudden they don't want to go mess with that Hyper-V crap anymore because they can do everything with VMware. I mean, load balancing, everything.
Yeah. So glad I remembered to do that, because that was a big thing I found this week and I've been freaking out about. So
freak out.
Freak out.
So chic. I don't know all the lyrics to that.
I like how Caprico still gets references back to like the 70s. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, my dad was from there.
Hey, I'm not talking to your dad right now. I'm talking to you. I'm proud of you, man.
But
You've really
are
come
you?
a long way. Sarcastically, but yes.
Something interesting I just read. Idaho magistrate judge shoots down another government request for compelled fingerprint production. So at least in the district in Idaho, a police on odd cannot force you to use your fingerprints to unlock your phone. Or unlock a phone they think is yours.
Yes.
Nice.
Well, I mean, they'll still try it because guess what? Hey, we didn't force him to unlock the phone. We just really put the phone up to his finger and he unlocked it.
Well, okay, so if it's a phone they think it's yours, if it's a phone they know it's yours, does that same protections apply? In other words,
Well, it depends.
is this a way to prevent, shotgunning for evidence, or can they use targeted things as well?
Well, it depends. They would have to believe they would have to have something. I don't know what the standard of evidence is they would need to provide to conclusively prove, yes, this is this person's phone. It is not a phone of a friend of his. It is his phone.
Or
I do not know what burden of proof they need to meet in order to convince a judge of that.
Oh well, just as long as it's on Sprint, just dump the leaked file and validate the information.
as long as it's a Samsung phone and they're using Sprint, yeah. Oh, it doesn't even need to be a Samsung phone. You could just do it from Samsung to see all the other phones. That was the thing.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Well, we got an anonymous tip that says, it's your phone.
We got an anonymous tip. Oop. I just opened
like
up
that.
everything on my screen. Pro tip, don't smash your keyboard. Weird stuff happens.
Excellent. Okay, cool. We got anything else for this week?
Jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
Oh, that's
No,
your
but it can
opinion.
greatly weaken their structural integrity, which can cause a building collapse.
That is true.
I felt since the whole Area 51 thing just reminded me of that.
I think some other people do a riff on it, like everybody invade the Bermuda Triangle, or everybody invade Jeff Epstein's house.
Ooh, let's not. We don't condone invading anything, regardless of what people are being accused of or have done.
I mean, if they want to go invade the Bermuda Triangle, that's cool because that's natural selection up there with no one being harmed.
I mean, it's all natural selection. All of it's natural selection, especially Area 51.
On the Bermuda Triangle thing, I don't totally understand all the legends about. I hear about planes and ships disappearing there, but isn't that also a major area where hurricanes come through?
Yes,
it is. But
according
to a couple documentaries that I've seen, shit, what is it? Nitrogen, I think. Is it nitrogen? I think it is. Rises up out of the seabed, and so the air to gas ratios end up altering enough that it can, essentially stall the motors out in some of the airplanes. I don't think any jet has ever crashed there, but I think it was the old kind of prop planes and everything that still use like the V6s, V8s. Well, I mean that's not what it is in air terms, but I think it was those gases rising, and I think it's only the gas, the smaller stuff that ever had issues there.
It's not the Atlanteans shooting down things in our airspace?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's been years since I watched those documentaries, but I mean, for me, it made sense. They had they were able to validate their findings and everything, and it's like, well, seems plausible.
All right. Anybody got anything else?
No. I do not.
No, I posted a link in the Hangouts chat for the clip of a news station showing Naruto running.
Gmail, because that's where my chats go.
I can post that into the show notes. That the Twitter link.
Yes, that is correct.
Add that to Project Topman.
Yes.
And now we're exactly 2 hour mark. Anybody?
All right.
Woohoo!
Oh my god, that is amazing. I just watched it.
It's yeah. We are in spectacular times.
I just saw what my first reaction was back on YouTube, and I just went. Oh god.
Hey,
That's
it's rough.
rough.
It's a rough life, but somebody has to live it.
Yeah, sure. I'm just gonna let them be them at this point.
There you go.
Screw it.
All right. But in that case, I think we'll call it an evening. Everybody have a good night and catch y'all next week.
Later.
Bye.